Ontario. My name's Dave. This is Macaro Siding. It's been raining for about 24 hours here, so we're all hunkered down in the house, and just one of us upstairs is reading, and I'm down here doing this. Anyway, today we are going to do a couple of experiments with water and streams, rivers and streams. And what I've done is I've built a sort of mock-up of the two areas on the layout, so that this mock-up works, will allow me to experiment with this. Oops, let's get that out of the way. Experiment with the different resins that I'm going to use here, without committing to it right away on the layout itself. I've never done this before. And I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just going to read instructions and follow them. But I thought you might be interested to see how I do this. I'm also going to over here on this side of this little unit, I'm going to build some hills with the ceiling tiles, so you can see how to do that. It's dead simple, and we're going to go on step by step. Now this video is going to be started and stopped, because today what we're going to do is, in here we're going to put some plaster. Actually, we're going to put some joint compound, drywall joint compound in here to smooth this area out. Then we're going to put grout over top of that compound. And then we're going to start building up the stream with other colors of grout and rocks and pebbles and branches and stuff to make it look as realistic as possible. And actually, where to put my knife? Oh, there you are, hiding behind the compound. So all I did here was I took my knife and I just cut a V here in the top. So I'm just gonna turn this around a bit. Let me see. Can you see that? Let's go to 7. Well, that's not any better either, is it? Well, it will be if I do this. There we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the knife and I'm just going to do what I did before. And what I'm trying to do is just gradually build up a bank so that at this edge down here, that's the resin will come just a little bit above that, just a touch. And we'll do the same on the other side. Like that. Now the next step with this is to take a little wire brush and just to rough it up. I'm just going to grab something here. So I can't remember if I told you I bought a Woodland Scenics little vacuum cleaner. The thing is just powerful enough to suck up 1 mil static grass, but not much more. So I went out, and of course my favorite store for online purchases, Amazon, and I bought this thing. Now it's a vacuum cleaner, obviously. It has a little internal filter which you can clean, and right now it's got static grass in it. So, and this wasn't very expensive, but this one fulfills the task that it was designed to do, which is that it is actually a good vacuum cleaner. So, it's a rechargeable. I don't know how long the batteries last. I've never had to use it for more than a minute or two at any given time, so I'm not sure exactly how long that's good. It lasts. So now we've got this. We've got this all roughed up. The next step is drywall compound. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to come in here and I'm going to start spreading the drywall compound. Now, one of the reasons I'm doing this is I've heard that some of these epoxy resins don't play nice with foam, and so you need to seal them, coat them, do something to make it work. Well, using this plaster or this compound, it kills two birds with one stone. It's going to seal up the surface, and I can model in some texture to the ground as I'm doing it. Now we're going to use two different resins. I've got the what's it called? Enviro epoxy or something. Anyway, you get it at your local hardware store, and it's intended for putting on a thick coat of resin over top of a piece of furniture. Years and years ago, and it would be now back in the early 80s, when I was young and foolish. I built a desk for myself. At the time I was a teacher and I needed a desk at home because you're always bringing paperwork home to mark and plan lessons and stuff, so you always need a place to work. So anyway, I built a desk, and I bought a very expensive piece of plywood, tire wood pattern plywood, and then I poured on the resin. Poured on the resin and then put that piece of plywood as my desktop to work off of. I had a varied career in education. I started out as an art teacher and special ed teacher in the Canadian Arctic. I did that for 3 years. Then I came to Saskatchewan and taught there until I retired from teaching. There I finally was able to teach what my degrees were in. I have a degrees in fine arts. I have a BFA, and I have a graduate degree in art education. So I got to be the art teacher where I was at my school in Saskatchewan. That transitioned into me becoming a computer teacher, because back in the day, if you showed an interest in computers at all, then they made you the computer teacher. And a friend of mine, Glenn and I taught computer science and computer applications. I taught mostly applications. I did teach science. I did teach a basic course in basic programming language. That led to me becoming a computer consultant for the school division, which led me full circle back to being what was called a resource consultant, which meant I was back helping special ed and staff members finding resources to teach their subjects. So you can see here it's pretty well done. You gotta sort of, there we go. So that's that done. Now close that up, just dry out, and now we're going to put the grout on there while that compound is still wet. Now again, I'm using tile grout. I'm finding that for a base coat, a fine dusting of this tile grout really makes a difference in making other things stick, because you've got a sort of gritty surface. So here we go. So put this down like this. There's my isopropyl alcohol. There's my isopropyl alcohol in a little container. And I'm going to grab a pipette, and we're just going to. Now I could spray this, but then sometimes I think I'm wasting so much IPA because I've sprayed it all over the place, and it's a little easier to get now that the pandemic is a little bit more under control, if you can even envision it being under control. And way back when, before everybody was washing their hands with this stuff, I bought 2 gallons of it. I think I bought it on Amazon. So there we are. Okay, now we'll let that set. Now I can go ahead and keep doing stuff here. We just won't be talking about the little stream that we're going to have eventually here. So this is now going to evaporate. Seems to be quite a bit down in there, so let's just. That kind of raised that up a bit, so we'll go back in there now. So let's move on and look at the ceiling tile, the hillsides and mountains and stuff. So we're just gonna move a couple things around here, and let's see. No, I'm going to do it this way. And we'll walk over here on this end. Okay, let's see, we just zoom in on camera. I'm just gonna zoom in here on camera 5, but it's just I gotta get it organized here. Okay, if I don't touch that, it'll be good. So now, so what we're going to do now is here, we're going to use the ceiling tile to make rock formations down here. And I think what we'll do, why not, since we're doing streams and stuff, let's give ourselves another stream. Oh, it must be dull because I didn't cut myself. Now, over the past 4 days, I've been working on the area around the quarry. In particular, a strip along the far side of it. Now, that strip is where one of these epoxy pours is going to be done, and that's why I want to test it here. The bigger area here, this one here, this is on the layout already. The cork is in place, it's painted. The riverbed has been painted but not graveled and set up. And so I wanted to test it here before I test it over there, because yesterday when I was putting, I'll turn it so you can see it. You see that mirror right here? So this makes it look like the river goes on a lot further than it does. And so I was going to put a mirror on the layout one. I have set it up so I could drop a piece of mirror in there. But my glass cutting skills are pretty bad. It took 4 cuts before I had a piece of mirror that fit right here properly. It's just, I hate cutting glass. I just hate it. It's a pain in the butt. So what we're going to do, and now I'm going to come here, and we'll come on. Safety first, don't ever cut towards yourself. Okay, there we go. That's going to be good though, because we're going to do some fancy stuff here. So, once again, wire brush. And the vacuum cleaner. So now we're going to go ahead and put the ceiling tile in place as rocks, as a rock face here. Now, I don't remember where I got these. I think I got these out of the garbage bin at the home hardware store where I worked for a little while. But this is just plain old drop-in ceiling tile. I've got maybe 5-6 sheets, pieces of this, and yours is just as good as anywhere. So it cuts unbelievably easily, as you just saw. Let's go to, and you can see that it's got this wonderful edge to it when you break it. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take this piece and put it here, and I'm going to cut. I'm just going to mark it. I'm going to pick it up. Now you can cut it and then you can just break it. If you want a nice clean edge, cut all the way through. But if you're looking for a ragged rock edge, then so there. And we'll cut that. And this is the start. So what we're going to do is we're going to build this up. We're going to put more on top of it. This is the base here of this little rocky area. We're going to, let's see, well no, we'll leave that. So all I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut another strip off of this. I'm going to draw. And then I'm just going to take my hands, take my hand and hold it and snap it. All right. So now I've got another piece here now. And you can see that you could build up a pretty convincing rock face doing this. So what I'm going to do now is, let's see, what do we got? We're going to do let's see. And break. And put that piece there. And break. Now let's see. So what I'll do is we'll glue all of this down, and then we'll shut off, and I'll come back and start her up again with the next step and what I would do with these ceiling tile blocks. So we're going to glue them down. I'm going to finish trimming them up so that they are now. These are messy, and I'm not sure what's in them, so very well could be asbestos in this stuff. Which would not be good for my health. Alright, so then we'll take this. I guess there's good enough to see. So now we have the rock face there, there, there. Now the nice thing too about this stuff, and I'm going to make a mess here, but just bear with me. This is with a wire brush. You can put texture in it. So what I'm going to do is, like I said, I'm going to glue these down. While it's glued down, I will, once it's glued down, I'll get some of my my homemade sculpt mold and fix these up a bit. I'm gonna, and then we'll carry on. We'll start it up again. That may mean that we'll be leaving this overnight, but for you guys it's going to be like 2 seconds, 3 seconds. So let me go ahead and glue this down, and then we'll shut off for a little while and let this stuff shut up. All right. So what am I going to use? I'm going to use Eileen's tacky glue. Wonderful stuff. So first things first. Yeah, where are we going? Just gonna. All right. Now I've rubbed off the surface of the phone here with my wire brush. And that'll help the glue. So what we're going to do here is we're going to create a little ribbon that comes through here. I'm going to break this apart once it's glued down in here, so there's a stream that goes into our stream in the it goes into our stream back here that I cut. So I'm going to cut through here and continue that on. Now, you might be asking, how do I know where I'm putting things? I don't. I just go with what I think feels right and looks right. All right. So, with all of that glued in place, like I say, I'm going to make up some of my own sculpt mold just to blend these in a bit more. And we're going to put some static grass up here. We're going to cut out the channel, make sure it comes down here and goes into here. And we're going to come back to the one that we started all of this with, which is the little stream that's over here where you can't see it right now. All right. So, give me 2 seconds, and I'll be back in 4 hours. And welcome back. It's been 24 hours, and I've done a little bit of work down here. So we're going to focus on just the little stream today. Otherwise, this video is going to be hours and hours long. So we'll spread it out over some time here so that you can better understand each one of these processes as we do it. Now, the middle one here, this is a duplicate of what's already set up on the layout. This is just to test this little one here. Let me punch that over there. There we go. This little one is to test realistic water. No mixing. Surface dries firm and clear. Self-leveling. Minimal shrinkage. Water soluble. Non-toxic. And it's from Woodland Scenics. So it comes in a bottle. Trying to figure out. Oh, here we go. This way. I can never figure out which camera I'm on. Anyway, so it comes in a bottle like this. You can tint it with acrylic paint. It says it should be 100% acrylic paint. So I've got some VAO model color, 70.962 flat blue. I'm going to put a couple of drops in it. I've got a plastic cup that we'll pour this into so that we can mix, and then we can pour that into there. So the first thing we've got to do is seal off this edge here, because this is open. This one is closed. There's a piece of masonite here, and this one is not. So in order to do that, I have a couple of small sheets of acrylic lying around here. These are from when I built the enclosure for my filament printer. I've got a Drywall Pro something or other, can't remember. And so we're gonna. I'm just seeing what. Okay, that doesn't work. So we'll stay with this camera. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the hot glue gun and I'm going to put some hot glue. Now I want to make sure that I have a continuous bead. Of hot glue here. But I don't want it so far up that it's going to become part of the diorama or the little model that we've got here. Okay, so we'll turn it this way. So all I'm going to do is squish this against there, and I'm going to hold it until that cools. Which seems to be right now because it's stuck there. Now I thought I had put some, oh there it is. And just in case, and this is what I found out with the center one here. I might have said this in the last half of this episode. That you've got to make sure you absolutely seal the thing off. That it cannot leak anywhere. When I did the middle section copy of what's on my layout, I'm sure I said this. I put a mirror back here to so that it makes the stream look longer than it is. And I was very good along the front where the masonite was and sealing that up. But there was just a thin little crack between the baseboard and the mirror, and the glue was running. The glue that I was putting on with the pipette was actually running straight down and onto the table. So I went back and sealed around the mirror with latex caulking, and then I went and did some joint compound along the crack at here, and then I did more gluing and more stuff, and it seems to have solved itself. So we don't need to worry about that. So now I'm trying to figure out the best way for you guys to see what I'm doing here. I think I'm going to take camera 5 and turn it, change its vision. There we go. So, camera 5. So we have the plastic container. We've got a little stir stick, and we've got the acrylic. I'm assuming some kind of acrylic medium, since it needs to be mixed. Now the very first thing on the instructions with this, and if you don't read them you're going to mess up right away, is do not shake bottle. So we're not going to shake the bottle. So I'm going to pour, and I'm going to guess how much. There, let's say that much. Now if it doesn't fill it, we'll let it set, and then we'll mix up another batch and do it over top. So I am going to put just a single drop of this blue in there. And then I'm going to mix it up. So it doesn't take much. That single drop pretty well colored the whole thing up. Now, I could put a little bit of black in here, but I don't want to do that right away. I'm going to have to experiment on just using little bits of this, little bits of this stuff and different colors to see if I can match the colors of what streams look like. So I'm just going to keep mixing this for a little while, make sure there's no streaks or anything in it. It does seem as possible to put bubbles in this stuff pretty easily, so we don't want to do that. You know, we probably should be stirring it a little bit less vigorously. Okay. Well, I'm just going to take the stir stick and put it on this cloth so we don't get that all over the place. This looks like it's sealed up, and so here we go. And like I say, again, 99% of the stuff I do on this show channel is absolutely brand new to me. I am well, that was quick and easy. And I don't think I'm going to do. I'm going to. Okay. So there's camera 7. And there's the so I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the stir stick now. Where did I put that? Yeah, okay. Just give me a second. I'm just going to find something that I think will help us. Okay, sorry about that, folks. So, I've seen other people do this online and on their channels to get rid of the bubbles. So I'm going to make I'm going to take a stab at it. So what I've got is a little butane torch. Oh, does that ever work? Wow. Yeah, you gotta be careful. I'm assuming you set your layout on fire. Oh yeah, you gotta be very careful. You gotta just graze the top and then let it go. All right, so. There you go. That wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be. So now what we have to do is leave it set. Now I've got, I wonder, is that thing still on? Yeah, it's still on. Where is that other piece of plexi? I'm just thinking out loud right now, and I'm wondering whether I should. I don't think so. I don't think so. So I noticed that already we're into like, well, we were into 30 minutes when we were with the other, with the first half of the video. So now we're running into about 12 minutes of video here. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to leave this set up, and I'm going to play around with what I've got left over here, see what I can do. And might, since it went so easily, I might go over to the layout and actually do some work there. But anyway, so I'd like to thank you for watching. Next week we will continue on here. I still have to work on this end of the layout, or module diorama, whatever you want to call it. And I'm going to have to cut this down and make it. I can see already that this side is higher than this side, which is not good, because then it's running backwards, and we don't want that at all. And I'm going to I've probably use my own sculptable and stuff and make this into a mini diorama thing here. I'm going to have a little waterfall here, so we're going to do that as well. We're going to save the big one with the mirror for the next time, or even maybe the time after that. And what I'm going to use for that is Envirotex. You can buy this in hardware stores, hobby shops. This is waterproof, heat and alcohol resistant, and all sorts of stuff. Should be interesting. I have definitely, like I said, the last time I did anything with a resin pour was in the 80s when I was young and stupid. So we'll leave that for today. So thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. We have hit, believe it or not, 101, I think it is, subscribers, which I didn't think would ever happen. So we'll see you next week, and take care, be good to each other, and we'll see you then.